How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get those animating juices flowing. Time to get imaginative. It's time to get creative. And it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Timm. If you're not familiar with him, check right over here. And that's right, we are looking at the creative mind behind the amazing 1990s cartoon Batman the Animated Series. He's such a phenomenal illustrator and creative designer. I really like the stylized version. It's kind of a mix of the old like Fleischer style and kind of Sleeping Beauty style of animation with those real sharps next to the real nice curves with his lines and his style. And such great stuff. Anyway, so let me look at a couple of quotes that I grabbed from him. That's the ultimate when you can combine the two. If you can combine the really emotional stuff with the great action, that's my favorite stuff. And it really shows that quote in the series if you're not familiar with his work. But I think that's a great thing if you can I'll just go ahead and close that here just so it's not distracting here. But if you can combine, basically I would take it down even a step lower to body mechanics and feeling behind stuff, and blend the two so that you can get the movement and the feeling in there in any sort of animated work, and even in just a single illustration and stuff. It's what we've been talking about before, is kind of having your flat overall generic visual or audio meaning, and then having a layer underneath that that's really strong as well. And if you can hit on those two feelings or vibes, that's when your work really shines. And the other one was, for the most part, I'm really self-taught, and there's a good and bad side to that. I think that's a really interesting thought to have. A lot of times, you know, people will say, well, I don't have money to go to art school, or I don't have money to buy this expensive equipment that I need to really do this. But I think there's a lot to just doing it on your own and making the mistakes and growing and learning and trying to figure out where you can get your knowledge from. It doesn't always have to come from the particular college that's the best college for that, or the particular teacher that's the best teacher for that. Sometimes it's just that journey that you go out there and you're reaching out to try and find that stuff. And you know, if you put yourself out there, and if you've got a little bit of talent, a little bit of skill behind that to start with, and you're, you know, confident, but you also are show that you looking for help and asking those important questions and continuing to journey down that way, that sometimes the best people are really those that are self-taught. And self-taught doesn't mean that, you know, they didn't look for help from other things. It just means that they didn't necessarily go down the path that has been journeyed before. And I think that's really interesting. I know for myself, I have taken a couple of classes here and there on stuff, but a lot of where I felt like I've grown the most is when I just put my head down and I continue to just focus and try and learn it on my own, because all the great books and the great teachers in the world and everything, they're going to give you help. But if you don't put the work in yourself and put those hours in, you know, the learning the oboe, or you know, in front of the computer, if you're a web designer or whatever it is, those medium, you just have to put in those hours and put in that effort and that heart behind it, and just trust that you're going somewhere, and that this is a journey, and it doesn't matter what medium you're using, but you have a path to go down. I'm rambling, but I hope that you guys continue on your journeys every day, and that's a lot of what this series is about just continuing to push yourself every day and try new things, and continue to just strive for those goals. And I hope you guys are doing that in your everyday life as well. So that being said, let's get into animation. We're working with the Groggy rig again. It's a free rig. You can grab it from Creative Crash. Information will be in the description below if you guys want to try it out. And don't forget to share back if you guys have made some amazing stuff with any rigs that you're using. I'd love to see it, and you can share it with the world. We'll use it as a platform to do that as well. And we're using Autodesk Maya 2010 as well for this one. Now, if you've been following along, this is pretty much day number 5 that we've been working with this shot, and this is the longest one I think that we've done, where we've done a continuous looking at the same shot and continuing to iterate over it. First day we did just some really basic overall structure for our shot, then we went and we did some lip sync, and let's see, what did we do after that? Then we extended the shot a little bit more, and yesterday then we went in and we really kind of retimed some stuff out, extended the shot even longer, and kind of tightened up everything. So that being said, we left yesterday where we added about an extra 40-ish frames, so we didn't have audio, so I went in and recut a different version of the audio. So let's go ahead and just watch our shot as it is right now before we get into that too much.
One of my hobbies is I collect dust. One of my hobbies is I collect dust.
Okay, I think it's working pretty well. I think the length is a lot better. I think there's still maybe a couple points here, like this to that on the head. I feel like we could start the head move maybe 2 frames before. And then those moves could probably be held for a little bit longer, but I don't know that I'm going to mess with that today. I really want to do today is just kind of a little bit different than we've done before. I want to create a background for it. I want to create a mic stand over there, and then I want to create a camera. So this is going to be less about necessarily the animating itself with the character, even though we'll probably do a little bit of that, but more about setting up the scene and taking your animation and adding some more to it for the overall feel of your animation. So first things first, we want to save our file as a different version. I already did that, so we're just going to save it one more time. Control S on the keyboard. Make sure we're still recording, and let's go ahead and create that mic stand. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a cylinder, just a wide base here for this. And then we're going to create another cylinder, and this is going to be, and let's go ahead and zero that out. This one as well. Let's raise that up. That looks awkward. Poor uncomfortable rig there. And let's go ahead and move that over just to kind of create a little bit more atmosphere here. This is going to be a little too big, so let's shrink that down and stretch it up. It doesn't need to be too tall. Let's see. Maybe a little bit skinnier here. Raise it up a little bit more. Let's create another cylinder here. Actually, no, let's do this. Let's go to Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop Tool. Let's go there. Then switch back to Faces. Extrude. Okay, go faces here, edit mesh, extrude. Why is that not working? There we go. It's not working the way I want it to work. What is up? Let's give a little bevel to the bottom here. Switch back to object mode, and let's copy that and paste a new one. Raise it up, shrink it down. just need the top of that mic stand, so let's go copy that, paste that up again. And then the next thing we want to do is we need that little cup. So let's create polygon primitives. So that would be, I think it would be a cone. Do you want to do a cone? No, I don't think we want to do a cone. Yeah, we could do a cone. It might work. And then I'm gonna go select faces. I'm gonna grab all of those. I'm gonna delete those, and that should give us kind of the shape we're looking for, and then we can tweak it from there. Okay. Now let's go ahead and grab all of these and parent that together, and then if we grab this, that should even everything out. And let's put it back to 0. Oh, shoot. There we go, we just missed a part. And parent that, and then we should be able to 0 that out, and 0 that out, and 0 that, 0 that. And then we just want to make sure that we're centering this here. So I'll raise it up. Let's rotate it. So, select faces, so we'll delete that one. And let's select object mode and copy it and paste it again. And that's what we're gonna do. Okay. Let's go to faces. And we'll delete those ones. Let's go back to object mode. If only we could make that a little bit thicker, that would help. Rotate it up a little bit. Down. Rotate up a little bit more. Bring it down into there. And let's copy that and paste another one here. And bring it up here. Go to faces. Shrink those down. Stretch that out a little bit more. Bring it down. Go back to object mode. Let's raise that up here. And copy another one of those, paste that, minimize it here, and bring that down a little bit. It doesn't have to be a perfect mic stand, but just so I can get the idea there. Let's go to edges. Let's delete those. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go back to object mode. I'm just going to delete that one. It's not coming up the way I want. So let's go back to edges. And let's just tweak some of these edges up here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's raise those up just to kind of cup in here and rotate them this way. Bring it back down. Okay, and then let's grab our edge tool again. Grab those guys and we'll hoist them up a little bit. Hoist them up. Now we'll grab our vertex tool and just grab that one. Bring that up. Bring that up. And bring that up. And this one. And that one. Okay. Work alright. And then we'll copy that. Paste another one. I'll shrink this one down a little bit. That feels pretty good. And let's go to vertices. More edges. reason. And parent that again. Zero that out. Okay. Then we want to zero that out again just so we have it right in the right place here. Just so it's right in the right spot. Okay. And then we're going to copy that and paste another one. Bring that to the front here. Make it a little bit bigger. Move it up. And move it back. Let's go ahead and grab the faces. And delete that. And delete that. And delete that. Okay. And then switch back to object mode. Grab both of those and parent that back to it. Okay. It's a adequate mic stand. It'll work for what we need it for. We got that set up. Let's go ahead and grab this and go to frame 1. And we're going to extend it a little bit more. And it feels like that's... Move it over a little more. And yeah, I think that's good. Now let's go on to creating a background. Make sure we're still recording here. And so for this is going to be something a little bit different that I haven't done here on recording. So I'm going to pop over into Photoshop real quick. And so I'm going to turn the desktop off. And we'll see if we can't... I'm going to print screen on the top here. Go down. Let's see if we can't get that to work. All right, cool. So let's create a new image here. I'm going to paste what we had there just so I can get a good color balance, so I can kind of go with the same color scheme that we have going with the character already. And this is just a little image of a curtain here that I grabbed into a little bit of nice little... Instead of this, I want it to be a red color, so I'm going to put that down and top that off just so it's a real muted kind of red. Yeah, I feel like that works pretty well. Let's go off of this blue instead and see if that works a little better. And switch that back to red still, so I really did it in red. Okay, that works alright. Maybe a little bit more. what kind of sepia color? Oh, I think that'll work, I think, for our shot. So we're going to Control Shift S, or save this file. We'll just call it B. And we got that. Okay, so now I'm going to switch back into Maya. So bear with me 1 second. Okay, now we're back into Maya. Now let's go ahead and save our file. Right now, I'm going to click here. And first thing to do is create a polygon primitives. Let's create a cube. Here, create a background here. And now we're going to right click on there and assign a new material, a Lambert. And then go into color right here, and we're going to do this little checkered box there. And we're going to grab a file, and for this file, we're going to grab our curtain that we just did, and that was curtain. Go back into Photoshop real quick, and curtain B, and I'll save it as a PNG. So bear with me 1 second. Sometimes it takes a second to load up. Oh, and that was okay. Sorry. Once that's done, save it. And there's our file. I'm going to open that. Okay. I think our image is going to be way too big, so go back in here. Resize our image here to be, let's just do like 800 by 500. Okay. We're going to call this curtain C then back in Photoshop. Let's grab it. Our Lambert again. And switch it to curtain. Curtain C. Still might just be way too big. So, let's do a different one. Create. Let's create a plane instead. There we go. So I just did that same thing we did on image plane instead. Sometimes it doesn't. I like to do the cubes usually, or spheres, so you can go a little bit more. Plane a little bit. So again, we just did the same thing, use that same image, but we just did it on image plane instead. Just a muted curtain there. I'm going to assign a new. Let's do.
my hobbies is
lag there.
one of my hobbies is I collect dust.
This color here needs to change. So let's find out what kind of colors we're using.
One of my hobbies is I collect dust. One of my hobbies is I collect dust. One of my hobbies is I collect dust. One of my hobbies.
Panels perspective, and this is going to be camera 2 that we just created. Camera angle for this. Okay, I was thinking Trump panel. Again, this is a little bit different video. This is more about shot layout and everything too than necessarily animation, but that's okay. So we're going to be doing an edge here. So it'll be more of an audience thing. That's a really good change there. So you get a little feel for like the stage there. And then I'm doing this so that I can get a perspective view here. I'm gonna keep my camera locked up here.
One of my hobbies is I collect dust.
That's pretty good. I'm gonna go just a little. Let's go back into. Let's set that. So just so window animation editors, graph editor, translate scene, push that back just a little. That's the nice thing about setting up a camera. You can really get into that camera angle that you're.
One of my hobbies is I collect dust.
Let's go back to camera. Set that.
my hobbies is
I just want to be close enough because sometimes you get a little bit of graininess in those lips.
hobbies.
Distance, ribbies. That's all. I don't want to too far away from me. So I want to make sure we get a good camera angle that's good for our scene, but also translate down. Too far. Yeah, let's rotate it. Oops. Actually, a little bit of like angled up. Rotate the rotate this. Just to like looking up for it. And let's put the transit line down.
One of my hobbies is I collect dust.
Just and let's go ahead and blast that.
One of my hobbies is I collect dust. One of my hobbies is I collect dust. One of my hobbies is I collect dust. One of my hobbies is
That's pretty good. We could probably zoom in just a little bit more so that it translates in. Let's go blast that again. See if that's a good distance.
one of my hobbies is I collect dust.
Let's go save our file effect. That's all working pretty well. Now that we've got that camera, we've got it locked off, we've got it keyed. Turn the audio off here. And let's go back to the perspective view. That way we can switch back and forth. We can keep our, let's turn the mirror curves on. And like I said, I just want to blend that head turn a little bit earlier. So we can have that hit. So it starts the head turn a little bit sooner. Okay, let's get more of that. so there's some movement there. Those eyes just feel stiff. You got that eyebrows working okay. Balance there. Down. I'm getting sort of micro movements, but this is going to keep those eyes feeling alive a little bit more. We got that, and then we'll just have them dip down a little bit so they're moving in conjunction. There's just those little micro movements in there. That'll help keep it alive. Just those micro movements keeps it from feeling locked off. Okay. Do a little bit in the lower eyelid as well. Not a ton, just a little bit. Let's see about there. Is it really open?
my hobbies is I collect dust. One of my hobbies.
Big dollars. So let's take a look back at where we started today. We're looking at Bruce Timm, one of the creative minds behind Batman animated series, and that's the ultimate when you can combine the two. If you can combine the really emotional stuff with the great action, that's my favorite stuff. And again, I think that just exemplifies that whole have your work speak on a couple different levels always. So you have the main kind of sugary outside, and then you have the tasty actual feel if it was like a cake of the cake batter and then your frosting. And then for the most part, I really am self-taught, and there's good and bad sides to that. And don't be afraid if you can't afford the best schools or the best teachers or anything. Just keep pushing yourself, keep looking to learn, and because it's not always the people who have the knowledge that go somewhere. It's the people who put in the hard work, and it's best if you can combine, a bit of talent to start off with, a lot of knowledge and a lot of hard work. So if you try to get those three, it doesn't always matter which one is the one that's on top, but it's kind of a blend of the three. So that being said, thanks again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of different format with these longer videos. Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks again for all of the likes and subscribes. You guys are awesome. And that being said, we will see you guys for some more animation. Hey, 10? Is that what we're doing today? I guess so. Alright, tomorrow.